What's going on, world? Brand new episode of Royal Key there on your screen. I'm your host, George Kill, and I'm here at the University of South Florida with Coach Golish. Coach, how are you doing, man?
Doing well, man. I appreciate you for having me on.
No, thank you for taking the time. You guys have an amazing indoor facility. How have you seen this, since it's been built, kind of benefit your program?
A bunch of different ways. It was the beginning part of what we're building here now with the on-campus stadium and football operations center. From a recruiting side, it's shown a commitment that, hey, we're just beginning to build here. From a functionality standpoint, a little bit different than when you're in the Midwest where you gotta get out of the cold. It allows you to get out of the heat when you need to. You obviously have to work in the heat to get ready for games, but there's gonna be times where you wanna get that element out of it and be able to focus in on what you got to focus in on. So it's been monumental there.
Let's actually go take a look at it. It's one of the better ones I've seen indoor wise. The branding on it, the color scheme just fits right in.
You want what your message is to be visible. In an indoor facility like this, you've got a bunch of wall space that's easy to cover up. So I think you wanted to make sure the branding was right. You wanted the appearance to be what you would want recruits to see. You know, we're still finishing up. The Jumbotron's not up. The permanent scoreboards aren't up. Those are the last pieces that I think will really kind of close it all in. You see the jugs machines out. You see the differences up. You can also work on the sides while things are going on. From a rehab perspective, you can have rehab going on while you're having a full team practice. The other nice part about it is the cameras are built in. So one, you see there is no film towers, which from a safety perspective is really nice. From a transition to be able to film practice is incredible because you literally go right to the hardwired cameras. There's an editing room.
How is it just being a part of a program it's just on the up and up with facilities, right? Like this program has been around since I think 97.
It's a big reason why I'm here. When you take an opportunity like this, you're looking for a commitment. You're gonna pick up, move your family, leave a really comfortable situation where you're having success. You wanna see a commitment. The commitment was real. One, this was about to be opened right when I was taking the job. And like I mentioned earlier, it's the start of putting us on-campus stadium. We're 26 years old, and then obviously the football operations center ties all of it together. So a commitment to me, a commitment to our student athletes, a commitment to us being able to go hire the right staff to be able to get these guys ready to take another step as a football program. 26 years old, a lot of things you're doing for the first time, and you've spent 15 of those with winning seasons. Now it's a matter of taking it into these next 25 years and creating a consistent top 20 program and eventually competing for a national title.
This field is, again, very quality, very pristine looking. You guys worked with FieldTurf on this. They gave you guys the Classic HD, which is one of the better fields, the safest fields that you guys have. How is it, or how was it working with them? And are you happy with the final product that you see?
I'm ecstatic. I think anytime you're in Florida, you have the ability to have incredible fields, grass that'll actually grow back. You want to be as close to that as you can in terms of the softness of it, injury prevention, like all of those things. From our experience so far, it's been phenomenal in that regard.
All right, Donovan, you've been here for quite a while, right? You were here before this amazing facility was built. Describe the facilities here at USF compared to where they are now.
When I first got here, none of this was built. They were just talking about it. Recruiting crew, they told me, you have an indoor camp, on-campus stadium, and we didn't have any of that. We just had our Leeward Summit Athletic Center and pretty much bare bones. We had everything we needed, but we didn't have some of the stuff that we might wanted and might needed in the future to excel this program and get it to where we want it to go.
Take me back to that first day you and your teammates walked into this building for the first time, especially those that came in with you. To see where you guys came from to now, like what was that initial reaction when you guys all walked in here? Yeah,
it was kind of a surreal feeling, just because being here so long and, hearing about it for so long and, just wanting it to actually come and, it actually being here, it was a blessing. We couldn't have asked for a better, performance facility. And, just the feeling when me and the guys walked in there was just like, we felt really accomplished. We felt like we earned this, all our blood, sweat, and tears, that we put out on the field, we finally have a reward for it. We finally have something that we can show for it. And, it was just an awesome feeling, walking in this huge building, 100 yards with the guys I came in with that we didn't have it. And then, it's honestly, I wouldn't ask for a better feeling. You know, it's such a great and humbling experience.
My last question. On a cool Tampa day, right, where the heat is not a factor, it's just a nice cool day, probably getting a breeze from some of the bay, right? Cool day versus in here. Which is the better practice for you? Which one would you like to do?
Ooh, see, I'm a big boy. You know, you might ask some of those skilled players, they might say outside, but hey, I'll take the AC indoor any day. You know, as a big boy, yeah. 330 plus, we need that AC indoor, you know. Makes practice go smooth and clean, no worries. So definitely the indoor for sure.
Okay, Barry, we're standing in an amazing indoor. You've been here since before football was even a program at USF. Describe like that time all the way to where we are now.
Before football came, we were disjointed. We were in different buildings on campus, and we shared space with physical education and campus rec and that type of thing. So it was tough to be real efficient in what you did. And then when football came on board, we had no really place to put them. You know, there's a story about them being in trailers. We had our external group in trailers as well. And it was just tough, but we were growing and we were trying to make it happen. And the biggest thing that happened was we did a land swap with campus rec. So where our building is now, our athletic building, which we moved everybody into, and that's when we became a lot more efficient as a unit and had everybody there except for those that were housed in, again, what was called the Sundome at the time. We were all together, so it worked out really well. So by doing those type of things, it just changed everything, and we had this uniqueness, which we still do, of a true athletic district. And I don't know how many places in the country, there's probably only a handful, if any. Again, when we started this, and it was back in 2017, I actually went out to Kansas City with our designer, HOK, and we looked at 16 different sites. Now, I didn't share that with everybody because I didn't want to come back and have everybody picking different places to go. So we quickly got it down to 8, then to 4. But at one time we were looking at putting it right behind our building where our soccer practice fields are. But as it turned out, by putting it here, not only did it work out, it's also has really enhanced the entire university, because where you think, you know, this is just a big barn that we're putting up and it's going to be an eyesore, it's turned out beautiful. And the color scheme and just everything that we've done and the branding of it and all those type of things, it's something that really, really stands out that you can pretty much see from any one of our facilities. So it's made a tremendous impact in recruiting. We've had camps that have already started this summer that have utilized this, but naturally the most important piece is for our student athletes.
The actual field itself, we talked with Donovan, who mentioned, hey, this is an awesome, super responsive field to play on. You guys got this field done by FieldTurf, classic HD product. What have you heard some of the student athletes mention about playing on this field, and how was it working with those guys at FieldTurf?
Well, first of all, they're a phenomenal company, and I think they're the best in the business. Professional and first class from A to Z, and I think it's state of the art. It's an incredible field that we have here. We had a temporary occupancy situation before we could get in here full time, a week before the end of football season, to get our kids in here to allow them to be able to practice a little bit. And when they walked on it, I don't think they've ever experienced anything like that, because it's a lot different than the turf that was here before, because it was not only because it was outdoors, but this is the newer state of the art, and it just feels like you're walking on the moon. So it's wonderful.